my friends, and welcome to our full moon ceremony tonight. Tonight we celebrate the sun in the sign of Taurus, and the moon is in the sign of Scorpio. The sun entered the sign of Taurus on April 19th, and the exact moment of this full moon was at 4:49 this afternoon. So before we go on in our explanation and description of this full moon, let's take a few minutes for our alignment as a group. So settle in once again and find that point of stillness within yourself. That place of peace. Be present to this very moment. And gently turn your attention to your heart center. Think of something that brings you joy, gratitude, or appreciation. And let it fill your heart. See it and feel it as fully as you can. And see how your heart expands when you allow this joy to come into your heart. Now send that expansive love energy out to link with everyone in our group tonight, everyone that we named and those that may have come after. Just with your intention, send your heart energy out to each person. See that energy form a ring of light connecting everyone here, heart to heart. Now focus on the energy of your soul above your head. The brilliant white light that represents your soul's energy. Send out that connecting link to everyone in our group. And see the group joined by two circles of connecting light. The light from our hearts and the light from our souls. And repeat silently to yourself. I am one with my brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love which is in my soul pour forth to them. May the strength which is in me lift and aid them. And may the thoughts which my soul creates reach and encourage them. Now in your imagination, visualize all of our lights coalescing until they form a magnetic sphere of light in the center of our circle. The magnetic force of this light opens a channel for the spiritual realms to pour down their blessing upon the earth and upon you. Imagine this downpouring. Feel the energy of love, light, and healing irradiating the earth. Imagine the earth breathing in this energy into itself. And imagine it impacting the consciousness of every person, inspiring them to create right human relationships. And now bring yourselves gently back to where you are sitting. Feel yourself connected to the earth through your feet, going down deep into the center of the earth. Bringing yourself fully back into your body and into your seat. So, my friends, tonight's full moon is also called the Wesak Festival, or the Festival of the Buddha, because we are told in the ancient wisdom teachings that the Buddha was born, died, and reached enlightenment all under the sign of Taurus. We are also told that this Wesak festival is the most powerful full moon of the whole year, because at this ceremony, the Buddha and the Christ come together to bestow upon the earth the love and wisdom that they both embody. This is a cosmic downpouring from the highest spiritual realms. It's especially powerful this year because, as I mentioned last month, we are in preparation for the great conclave, which occurs in 2025. Every 100 years, the hierarchy of masters meet in a conclave to review humanity's progress from the last 100 years. They then try to determine what energies and forces will be needed for the next 100 years that will help humanity evolve into the next state of consciousness. They do not control our destiny. We are in charge of that. But they do control the energies and the forces that they pour down onto the earth. And then it is up to us to use those energies at the highest possible level that we are capable of. In any event, this ceremony is said to actually take place in the Wesak Valley in Tibet. We are told that pilgrims from all over the world travel to this valley to participate in this sacred celebration. Many participate in their dream state, and some seem able to tune into the event while meditating. I wonder if any of you have ever had that experience of being in that valley for this ceremony. I haven't, but I would sure like to. In this ceremony, the Christ acts as our representative, the representative of all of humanity. He holds within himself all our aspirations, those longings and yearnings that we all have within us, as well as the energy of unconditional love. The Buddha holds within himself those spiritual energies that are available in the higher dimensions. He brings forth the wisdom of God and the divine light of illumination. When he appears from those cosmic realms, he transmits these energies to the Christ, where they are blended with the unconditional love that the Christ embodies. In this ceremony, the Christ then turns and pours forth to all the pilgrims present the beneficent blessings of love and wisdom. We can imagine that through this blessing, we are brought even closer to the world of spiritual realities. At the Gemini festival next month, these energies are poured forth to all of humanity. The Wesak festival is connected with an ancient legend. It may be considered a mythical story or as just a symbolic narrative, but to a large number of people, it is a factual experience. They have been there to see for themselves, or have dreamed it, or seen themselves there in their meditations. The story is connected with the Buddha and with a happening in his life which left him feeling that he must follow the dictates of his heart and return once a year from the high place in which he lives and works to bless the world. He becomes the transmitter of these cosmic energies, and the Christ becomes the receiver. And together they transmit this spiritual energy to humanity. Our visualization tonight will take us to the Wesak Valley, deep in the Himalayan mountains, to witness and participate in this beautiful ceremony between the Buddha and the Christ. We will imagine ourselves participating in that beautiful ceremony, part of which includes going up to the altar where the Christ stands and dipping our little cups into the big bowl of holy water that has been blessed by the Buddha and the Christ. Let us now prepare for our journey to the Wesak Valley. Please have handy your cup of water, as your water will be blessed during the meditation and become a healing source for you when you drink it after the meditation. Take a few moments now and seat yourselves comfortably if you aren't already seated comfortably, sitting quietly and breathing gently and rhythmically. Closing your eyes now, breathe a silent Om into your physical, mental, and emotional bodies. Notice how it feels to have these three bodies quiet, still, quiescent, and aligned. The spiritual realms are very close to us on this powerful day. Let those great beings know that you are open to their impressions. In your mind's eye, imagine a portal, a doorway opening to the spiritual realms. And see these energies pouring through that portal into your body through the crown chakra. You are literally breathing into your body the Taurian energies of illumination and aspiration. Ask that the light of Taurus and the wisdom of the Buddha illuminate your being. Now imagine that these same forces of illumined energy are streaming forth through pathways of light into all the hearts and minds of humanity, infusing them with the goodwill needed to create loving and harmonious human relationships and a climate for positive social change. May the love of the divine self be shed abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. Now, breathing that light back into your body, let us travel as illumined beings to the Wesak Valley. We're going to travel far away to the Himalayan mountains on the border of Tibet. In the middle of this mountain range, there is a sacred valley where pilgrims from all over the world are gathering to celebrate this special Wesak festival. Imagine, if you will, a bottlenecked shaped valley that is wider at the south end and narrowing at the northeast end. The narrow end reminds one of a passageway. It is, in fact, the entrance into this sacred valley. As you look around, you notice the ground is covered with short, coarse grass, and the sides of the mountains are covered with trees. The air smells fresh and sweet. Take a moment to feel yourself there in this sacred valley. Can you sense the feeling of expectation in the air as the pilgrims begin to gather? At the northeast end of the valley, where the passageway begins to narrow, there's a massive stone altar. Placed on top of the altar is a great crystal bowl filled with water. Standing in front of the altar, facing the opening of the passageway, with their backs to the crowd, stand three great lords. The great being in the middle is the Christ. Behind these lords in the valley are all the pilgrims who have arrived to participate. Some of them are here in their physical bodies, some in their spiritual bodies, and others are here in their dream state. Take a moment to feel the excitement building as we all wait expectantly for the moment of great blessing when the Buddha appears. As the hour of the full moon approaches, see if you can sense the stillness that settles down upon the crowd as we all look toward the northeast in anticipation of the appearance of the Buddha. While the pilgrims wait for the Buddha to appear, they begin a beautiful dance on the valley floor. They move with deliberation and purpose as they begin to form significant symbols, such as the Star of David with the Christ at the apex, or a triangle with the Christ at the highest point, or a cross. They move with ease and beauty as they create these well-known formations, all of which have a deep and potent meaning. Listen to the sounds of them chanting the sacred words called mantras as they move. And now begin to feel the expectancy in the crowd becoming very great. The moment is approaching, and the tension is real and increasing. Feel the potency of the vibration moving through the entire body of people gathered here. Feel it as it moves through you. This vibration has the effect of awakening and quickening the soul of all who are present, fusing and blending the group into one united whole. We wait in readiness and expectancy. The chanting and the rhythmic weaving grow stronger, and we all watch and raise our eyes toward the sky in the direction of the narrow part of the valley. Just a few minutes before the exact time of the full moon, in the far distance, a tiny speck can be seen in the sky. It comes nearer and nearer and grows in clarity and definiteness of outline until the form of the Buddha can be seen, seated in the cross-legged Buddha position, clad in his saffron-colored robe, bathed in light and color, and with his hand extended in blessing. When he arrives at a point exactly over the great rock, hovering there in the air over the heads of the three great lords, a great mantra used only once a year at this festival is intoned by the Christ, and the entire group of people in the valley fall upon their faces. Imagine now the entire valley filling with the light of the Buddha's blessing. Imagine the room where you are sitting now filled with that same light, radiating into every corner of your space, filling it with this powerful light. Imagine it filling you with that same light, touching each cell in your body and filling you with radiance. The power of this group and its invocative appeal sets up a great vibration or thought currency that is of such great potency that we are told it reaches up to God Himself. This blessing then comes forth as a spiritual vitalization of all of humanity, and the effect lasts throughout the entire year. The blessing is poured forth, and the Christ, as the representative of humanity, receives it in trust for distribution at the Gemini festival next month. Since Gemini is known as the distributive sign. Thus, so the legend runs, the Buddha returns once a year to bless the world, transmitting through the Christ renewed spiritual life. Slowly then, the Buddha recedes into the distance until again, only a faint speck can be seen in the sky, and this eventually disappears. The whole ceremonial blessing from the time of the first appearance in the distance until the moment the Buddha fades out of view takes just 8 minutes. The Buddha's annual sacrifice for humanity, for he comes back only at a great cost to himself, is over. And he returns again to that high place where he works and waits. Year after year, he comes back in blessing. Year after year, he and his great brother, the Christ, work in the closest cooperation for the spiritual benefit of humanity. Through the Buddha, the wisdom of God is poured forth. Through the Christ, the love of God is manifested to humanity. And it is this wisdom and this love which pours forth upon all the participants at each Wesak full moon. When the Buddha has again disappeared, the crowd rises to their feet. The water in the bowl is distributed in tiny portions to everyone. The crowd, who have all brought their little cups and vessels of water, drink from them and share with others. Imagine yourself walking up to the great stone altar and dipping your cup into the sacred water. Now, seated in your own space, I will ask you to dip your cup into this sacred water that has been blessed by the Buddha and the Christ. Raise your cup up now and repeat these words. With love, I accept the blessings of the Buddha. This force blends with the love of the Christ to aid in the stimulation of the Christ within me. The water, a symbol of spiritual essence, channels love, awakens my nature, and bears wisdom. Take just a few sips and drink with gratitude. Now raise your cup a second time and think of an area in your life that is in need of healing. The water is now very potent. It has the healing energy of the Buddha and the Christ. As you take this second drink, ask that it be used for your own healing. With this last sip, ask that the energy from this water be used for the healing of humanity, of our earth, of every kingdom in nature, animal, vegetable, and mineral. You, my friends, are now filled with light, love, and power. And now it is your responsibility to safeguard these energies from any misuse. So go forth with harmlessness as your intent. And let us close with the great invocation. This is one of the 3 stanzas given out by the Tibetan master Dwalkol in 1935. But it's very appropriate for the world situation today. Let the forces of light bring illumination to humankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May people of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of every human be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part. My friends, this is the day of safeguarding called because we are now filled with powerful sacred energies. We must be mindful that we do not misuse them or waste them. So again, go forth with harmlessness as your intention. Thank you for your participation tonight, and please join us for the Gemini Festival next month. Namaste, everyone. Let me just change this screen. Thank you for coming.